When preparing any kind of report, it's important to make sure that you have eliminated any spelling or grammar errors that might be in the report. Fortunately, Microsoft Word provides some useful tools for helping you to do that. The first one is to make sure your settings are properly adjusted to be pretty critical and frustrate you at times, but it's important to set the Word settings so that they are very rigid about spelling and grammar. So, if you're using Office 2007, 2010, or beyond, the way to set Word to be critical is to go to your File ribbon, and that's up in the left-hand corner of my screen. So I'm going to click File, and then I'm going to go to Options, and that's over here under the little File drop-down. I believe if you're using Office 2007, you may not see exactly the same screen, but you'll see something similar. So I'm going to click Options, and then I'm going to go to Proofing. This is where you make Word drive you crazy by being really critical. And you'll notice, as you look at this, some of the settings, they're in groups. Autocorrect options, for example, if you want to autocomplete or automatically fix Word common errors that you might make in your typing. I have some of those things that I routinely reverse the order of the letters, so I've set those up to autocorrect. But what we're really interested in is the block down here called When Correcting Spelling and Grammar in Word. And the first option I always check is check spelling as you type. Now, there are several other options here, but the next one that's really important to me is mark grammar errors as you type. That way, when you make a common mistake, you're going to see it. And you can select check grammar with spelling. So if you do a review of your document, you will automatically have your grammar checked. And finally, show readability statistics. I like to do this so that after I do a spell check, I can see how difficult it is to read a report. For example, if I'm working on something for the general public, I probably want to have my readability statistics show that it's at, say, a 9th grade level. On the other hand, if I'm working on my dissertation, that wouldn't be a big issue. Now, the next thing you have to do is under writing style, make sure that grammar and style are selected in this drop-down list. That's my default. Then go to settings, and here's where you're going to frustrate yourself to no end. Well, I know there are different views about commas and things like that. I'm not going to worry about those, but you will see that what I've done under grammar is turned on every single option. That way, if I make even what might be considered a slight mistake, Word is going to yell at me with green squigglies so that I know there's something wrong. And I believe it is really important to have all of these turned on, including things like subject-verb agreement. That way, if I have a singular subject, I have a singular verb. Now, under style, you can see that I also have turned every single option on. Cliches, contractions, fragments, passive sentences. APA guidance says you should avoid passive sentences wherever possible. But I try to avoid them all of the time. Makes the document easier to read, and it makes the document shorter, which in many cases is a good goal. Now, one of the ones that I turn on that kind of conflicts with APA is the use of first person. APA really doesn't frown on first person as long as you follow APA rules. But I turn it on just so that I can see when I'm using first person. Now, So I make all of the grammar and spelling and style requirements very rigid. And so those are my settings. And I use those routinely. Now in my next little video I'm going to talk about this document that you see here that looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't see any red or green squigglies. So I know it's going fast, but I'll talk about this in the next video. Thanks.